Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to your daily Wallops weather briefing for Wednesday, September 4th. Seeing some mostly sunny skies out there. It's going to be a beautiful day today. We are starting to see some of the cirrus associated with Hurricane Dorian starting to spread across the Wallops region this morning. We're also going to be seeing just a little bit of low cloudiness throughout the day, but still remaining partly cloudy other than that upper level cirrus. We are currently under a tropical storm watch for the lower shore of Virginia, as well as the coastal sections of the Maryland eastern shore, and we will be talking more about Hurricane Dorian towards the end of this briefing and how it will be impacting the Wallops area on Friday. Taking a look at our current surface analysis, we are seeing just some weak high pressure across the mid-Atlantic this morning. That'll help to give us some warmer temperatures into the mid to upper 80s and help to suppress any afternoon pop-up convection as well. We are seeing Hurricane Dorian there just off of the coast of northern Florida. It is slowly moving north this morning, and it's going to then get really close to the South Carolina coastline, and it does look like it is going to make landfall somewhere across the southeastern coastal sections of North Carolina and impacting the Outer Banks. It looks like there's a good possibility the eye of the storm could go right over the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Once it reaches Cape Hatteras, then it will shift off northeasterly, and we will get some effects just from the westernmost rain bands as we go late Thursday night into Friday. Taking a brief look at our upper-level winds this morning, just seeing some southwesterly winds from the surface up to about 6,000 feet, only running around 10 to 15 knots, and we're seeing those winds shift a little more westerly, still fairly light at 10 to 15 knots, and then around 30 knots from 16,000 to 25,000 feet from the west-southwest. Seeing freezing level this morning just below 15,000 feet. Take a quick look at our satellite loop this morning. We were seeing just a little bit of low cloudiness across the Delmarva this morning. Still seeing some of that low cloudiness here on the coast, but it's very, very spotty. Clouds running between about 500 to 1,000 feet right now, and very few. And there you see that upper-level cirrus shield associated with Dorian starting to move northward across the region. That'll continue to increase throughout the day today, and then we'll see that become overcast as we go into tonight. Take a look at our forecast for today. Going to see that temperature get up near 87 degrees as we go towards late morning hours and near lunchtime. Then that winds will shift more southerly. That'll help to knock down the temperature a couple degrees. Winds are going to increase to 7 to 12 knots from the south-southwest late this morning, then becoming southerly at 10 to 15 knots and gusty this afternoon and into early evening. Then those winds will weaken at 7 to 12 knots, then becoming fairly light and variable after midnight. Those light and variable winds will associate, and coupled with the abundant low-level moisture, will allow us to have a chance to see some low clouds develop with ceilings at or just below 500 feet after midnight tonight. Then as we go into Thursday, going to be seeing winds turn more northeasterly at 7 to 12 knots by mid-morning hours with a very muggy low of 74 degrees. We are going to be seeing a weak front approach the area tonight. It is going to be fizzling out and really dissipating as it reaches the Delmarva. So can't rule out a slight chance of an isolated shower, mainly between midnight and 6 a.m., but that's looking pretty unlikely at this time. It looks to just help to increase some lower-level cloud cover during that time frame. Taking a look at our terminal forecast, going to just continue to see a few clouds between about 1,000 to 2,500 feet as we go into the afternoon with that increasing cirrus shield throughout the rest of the day. Tonight, going to be seeing those low clouds develop once again, possibly becoming broken near 500 feet after midnight through about 6 a.m. Then as we go into mid-morning tomorrow, going to be seeing a few clouds at 500 feet, few at 1,500, a scattered cloud deck near 5,000 feet, and it will be overcast at the 25,000 foot level. Currently seeing tides just a half foot above normal along the Delmarva Atlantic coast near Wallops. Taking a quick look at our 7-day forecast before we get into our discussion about Dorian. Today is going to be a very pleasant day out there. A little bit humid with a high of 87 under partly cloudy skies. It's going to be a muggy low tomorrow morning, only getting to 74 degrees, and we'll start to see clouds really increase tomorrow. It does look like the morning should remain dry. Can't rule out a slight chance of an isolated shower in the late morning hours Thursday, but then as we go into the late afternoon, we'll start to see those rain chances increase pretty quickly, looking at around a 50% chance of showers before sunset tomorrow, between the afternoon and sunset, and then we'll see those shower chances increase as we go into Thursday night, and we'll be looking at a high of around 80 degrees tomorrow. For Friday, that's when we do anticipate those impacts from Hurricane Dorian, which we will get into in a minute here. It is going to be, temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s. We are going to be seeing periods of rain throughout the day, expecting around 2 inches of rain. It will be more or less really dependent on the exact track, as the slight shift east or west in that track of the storm will have a fairly big impact on exactly how much rain we are getting. And we are going to be seeing some tropical storm wind gusts, mainly along the immediate coastline for Friday as well. Looks like the best time for the heaviest rain and those gustiest winds will be Friday afternoon. As we go into Friday night, it does look like things are going to clear out pretty quickly, starting around midnight. And for Saturday, it's going to leave behind some very pleasant conditions. Temperatures only getting up to the mid-70s. The humidity really should be wiped out as well, with that low getting into the low 60s for Saturday morning. So the weekend's actually going to turn out to be rather pleasant out there. Sunday we'll see a front approach the area. That'll help to increase cloud cover a bit. Can't rule out a very slight chance of an isolated pop-up shower, but otherwise remaining dry. Temperature near 80 degrees. Humidity will creep up just a little bit, but otherwise going to be a beautiful day on Sunday. Monday we are going to be seeing a front associated with an upper level disturbance kind of stall across the central Delmarva. Still a little bit of uncertainty on exactly where that front is going to hang up at, but it does look like it's going to provide the focus for some scattered showers and storms, mainly on Monday. It is right now looking like any time during the day from the morning to the late afternoon, we could be seeing some showers and storms across the Wallops region. Going to keep that temperature near about 80 degrees. And then Tuesday does look like that weak disturbance is going to move just east of the area offshore, but it could still be enough of a focus in the area combined with some lower level moisture to provide a chance for an isolated shower, but only looking about a 20% chance at this time. All right, let's talk more about Hurricane Dorian coming up. There is a satellite image of it with our infrared satellite. It is moving very slowly northward currently, just east of Florida. It will start to make a northeasterly turn here as we go later in the day, heading up towards the Carolina coast. And then right now it is looking very possible that it is going to make landfall somewhere between Bald Head Island and Cape Lookout, with that eye possibly going right over the North Carolina Outer Banks. So that'll be something we will be watching as we go throughout the rest of today and the next couple of days here. Here's the official National Hurricane Center track. They currently have that center of that storm passing just to the east of the Outer Banks and the Carolina coast, but a lot of the latest model information is indicating that it is going to go over the coast. So we'll see how this evolves as we go into the afternoon, but definitely not going to be some bad conditions down there along the Carolina coast. We do have hurricane warnings and across South Carolina and much of North Carolina, with that hurricane watch across the Outer Banks. And like I mentioned at the top of the briefing here, we do have a tropical storm watch for the lower shore of Virginia and across the coastal portions of the Maryland eastern shore. Here's some model guidance here to show you different tracks from the different models. The bulk of them have them pretty much all staying the same, where they parallel the Carolina coast, then leave Cape Hatteras and move off to the northeast. And that does look like the forecast consensus across the board right now, remaining well east of the Wallops area on Friday. Let's take a quick look at a precipitation model here to see how this rain is going to develop as we go through the next few days. This is a Thursday at 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning. Not going to be seeing any rain through much of the morning hours. Can't rule out a sprinkle perhaps before noon in the late morning hours, but that's going to looks a little bit unlikely. But as we go towards Thursday afternoon, we are going to see some light showers start to develop, especially as we get closer to sunset. And then Thursday night, mainly after midnight, that's when our rain chances are really going to quickly ramp up across the Wallops region, and we should be seeing some rain definitely by the time we wake up on Friday morning. Also going to start to see those winds increase. As we go through the day, those rain is going to increase across the area, seeing some briefly heavy rain at times, especially as we get into Friday afternoon. This is Friday at about 4 p.m. when we'll be seeing some widespread moderate heavy rain across the coastal sections of the central and southern Delmarva. We'll continue to see rain as we go into Friday evening, and then by Friday night around midnight, that looks like when things are going to quickly clear out. It looks like we're going to get some dry air being directed into the mid-Atlantic region behind Hurricane Dorian. That'll help to really clear those clouds out pretty quickly, I think, and then leading to Saturday, giving us some temperatures Saturday morning into the lower 60s under just partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies, and Saturday is going to be a beautiful day behind this storm, what will be a pretty wet and windy Friday. Let's take a quick look on one of our models here, how these winds are going to progress. These are just sustained winds, so not gusts in miles per hour. This is starting on Thursday afternoon. Really not going to be seeing anything windy as we go into Thursday afternoon. Those winds aren't really going to start to pick up until we get into late Thursday night. This is running around Thursday, around sunset. We could start to see things get close to wind advisory criteria at this time as those winds get easterly and start to pick up across the area, and then winds will slowly increase as we go throughout the night. This is running just after 2 a.m. on Friday. Winds should be running around 15 to 20 miles per hour with some higher gusts. And then as we go into Friday morning at 8 a.m., that's when it looks like the center of that storm is going to start to really impact the Outer Banks. And we're going to start to see our winds increase to around 20 to 25 miles per hour in the mid to late morning hours of Friday, gusting to around 35 to perhaps 40 miles per hour by this time frame. This is running around noon on Friday. There you see we are going to be having that center depart the Outer Banks. On this model here, it is actually pretty much directly over in the south of the Coquina area, so it is going to be impacting that area as we go into the afternoon. That's when it's going to make a closer approach to Wallops, and we'll see our wind and rain increase at this time. Right now on this model, seeing those winds running around 30 to 35 miles per hour Friday afternoon. We will be seeing gusts close to around 45 miles per hour, especially on the immediate coastline and across the island, and those winds will be sustained throughout the rest of the afternoon on Friday. And after about 8 p.m. on Friday, then we'll start to see those winds shift northerly, the northwesterly, as that hurricane speeds away off to the northeast. And we'll see those winds slowly decrease throughout the early evening hours through about midnight. Once we get to about midnight, winds will be northwesterly, starting to dry in some of that drier air, and that will help to cut off the precipitation, decrease the clouds, and then we'll also see those winds slowly decrease as well, only becoming around 10 to 15 miles per hour, and then around even less than that as we go into the mid-morning hours of Saturday. Probably won't even be seeing a wind advisory by mid-morning Saturday, as the winds will have weakened enough for that. This is just a quick look at some storm surge guidance across the Wallops Island area. Right now, only looking about 1 to 2 feet of storm surge. As you can see in this map, the blue, really not going to be seeing too much of any flooding over there, other than in some very, very low-lying areas. All the areas with our equipment do look to remain above the ground, so only looking around 1 foot. So storm surge shouldn't be too bad out there, but we will continue to update this in our products, and we can expect an updated hurricane product by about 3 p.m. this afternoon. That'll do it for your daily weather briefing. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:15 a.m. and at 10 a.m. Have a great day.